Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Ria, and in this channel I give you guys lifestyle, immigration, and sometimes self-development content. If this is your first time tuning on this channel, you're highly welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, you guys know that I appreciate you, and I'm saying thank you so much for coming back again. As you guys can see from the title of this video, we're going to be talking about finding accommodation here in Ireland. I know that this subject is the subject that people always enter my DM. Oh Ria, I'm about to apply for my visa. They require me to book an accommodation before I apply for my visa. Oh Ria, I got the visa, I don't know what to do, how do I get an accommodation, blah blah blah. In this video I'm going to be sharing everything from A to Z. So in today's video we actually do have a sponsor, and that is Accommodation. So this accommodation company actually reached out to me, and they said that they wanted me to speak to my subscribers about accommodation. If you're coming into Ireland either as a student or for work, or you're even in Ireland and you're struggling to get an accommodation, they are your plug. So I'm just going to be reading out. If you see me looking down, just because I'm reading out some things that I want to tell you guys about Amber. So Amber is a platform through which students can book accommodations. I already said that, around the world. They are the Southeast Asia largest student accommodation provider. They're in operation in over 100 cities, including Ireland, Spain, UK, Australia, Denmark, Canada, USA. Literally, they have a lot, and with more than 20,000 listings on their platform. Right, so how it works is this: you're going to go check the description box down there for the link, and you're going to click on the link, and then you put in your city or maybe the name of your school. So for example, let's say you're in Dublin and your school is Trinity College Dublin. So you could type in the search button Trinity College Dublin, and then it brings out all of the accommodations that they have that is close to that school. Let's say you're coming into Ireland as a student and you don't want to live in a place that's really far from school. You kind of want like a walking distance to school. Literally, you would find every distance, like a walking distance, a bus distance. They have accommodations for that, literally. So just you could check the website down in my description box, check the link, and then you could search for a particular city that you want to get accommodation, maybe your school. If you're not coming here as a student, you're coming here to work, you can literally put in your workplace, and it gives you accommodations that are around your workplace. Like, it's very easy to operate. Honestly, it's very easy to operate. You don't need a lot of explanation to operate and find an accommodation. The good part about this thing is that you can actually cancel at any time. There are no cancellation fees. So if you kind of change your mind and say, oh, you don't want to stay there anymore, you could actually cancel and they won't charge you anything. If you're struggling, even if you're already in Ireland, not as a student, and you're maybe planning on leaving your accommodation and you're struggling to find a place, they are your plug for that time being. Like, you could use them actually, and then use that time as you're staying in that particular accommodation to search for where you want to be. They have very fine houses. Like, I won't even lie to you, their houses are really sweet. So all you just have to do, guys, is just to check down in the description box there for the link. Go through that link, browse on every and any accommodation of your choice, a single bed, a double bed, and then suite, a studio. They have literally everything. If you have questions, don't forget to leave it down in the comment section concerning this. I will definitely answer you guys. Okay, yeah, so let's move on to the main video. So I'm going to be sharing my experience because I feel like it's going to be easier telling you guys about my experience, how I did it, what I did. So when I was even applying in 2019, first things first, we didn't need to show proof of accommodation before you will come to Ireland. But right now, I think since 2020, it's been like a mandatory thing. I'm hearing people saying, oh, the embassy wants to see where you have to stay, even if it's 2 weeks, even if it's a month. You have to attach that to your visa application, which is fair and all right. I'm just going to be telling you guys how my own was and everything that I did. So when I got my visa, even before I even got my visa, I was already looking for an accommodation where I was going to stay. So you would check on, like, my school. I schooled in UCC, so UCC provided this platform where you would have a list of accommodations to choose from. Most of them are with the host family. So if you want to stay with the host family, you can kind of like, you know, click on one of them, the one that you want, and apply. Some of them will tell you to pay booking fee there and there, you know, using your MasterCard or your card or whatever. Some of them will give you the grace of coming into the country and then giving them the money in cash. So the one that I actually booked was the one that gave me the grace to come into the country and then give her the money in cash. So when I got there, I actually just checked on, you know, all of these booking websites. Let me tell you how I even got my first accommodation in Ireland was through a friend that was already here. Like, she just literally came like a few days before I came, and she had already stayed there, right? And she left. So she's like, okay, you know what, you can stay there, you know, that kind of thing. So she spoke to the lady. It's a host family. She spoke to the lady on my behalf, and then, you know, I was able to get that place. I was there for like 2 nights, I guess, and I think I paid, I can't remember now because it's been a very long time. Paid nothing less than, I think, 90 euros for those 2 nights, which is crazy now thinking about it. But at the time, I didn't have a choice, right? So that's how I got my first accommodation. And after that, I found a Nigerian family that were very lovely, and they took me into their home. So I was there with them for, I think, about a month or even less than that, because I'm someone that, you know, just wants to get settled. Like, I just want to find my roof, find my place, and just really get settled. So I was still looking for an apartment when I was with the Nigerian family, and I found one. That one was still now with the host family, right? And the price then was 600 euros per month, and that was including bills like gas, electricity, Wi-Fi, everything like was being provided. She even gave me bed sheets and all of that. But you know, the thing with the host family, you won't really want to, you know, what's the word now, stay with them for as long as you want to. Maybe stay in a place where you have like your friends or the same people, or people coming from the same country as you, a place where you kind of feel home at the very least. So I was there just for a month, and after that I just, you know, I said I was going to find my own place. So I kept on checking on rent, and mind you, how I got this host family was because I was checking on rents.ie and daft.ie. I think at that time it was rent.ie that I got that particular accommodation for. I went for the viewing, and that day I paid, and I think the next day I moved in. One tip I'm going to leave with you guys is that information is literally key. You need to ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, people don't know that this is what troubles your heart. People will not be able to help you if you don't know what you need, right? I went to class on one certain day. I'm just gisting you guys, so just flow with the gist. I went to class one day. I was just talking to like a friend of mine. I was just like, you know what, I'm looking for an accommodation. I don't want to stay there in the host family for a long time. And then she's like, oh, we have like a spare room in my house. And the house, there were about 2 Nigerians, 1 Lithuanian guy, and there was a spare room, so it was a 4-bedroom. And I'm like, oh, are you serious? Oh, would you talk to the landlord? You know, that kind of thing. And then she spoke to the landlord about it. The landlord said, oh, I should come to the house the next day for a viewing, which I did. And you know, I saw the place, and it was okay, because regardless of the fact that it was a single bedroom, I know that most of you will know that room, because when I started my YouTube channel, I started filming in that particular room. And after a while in the single bedroom, it got really tiring at some point. My back was aching me, because single bed is not a joke, guys. But at that point, I was paying 350. I said I was going to be saying the prices. I was paying 350. So you can see that I went from paying nothing less than 19 euros in 2 nights, to paying 600 per month including bills, and then now to paying 350 excluding bills anyways. But the bills can't be that bad. You can't even get up to 100 euros, trust me, per month. I went from 600 to paying 350 euros per month in Cork, but with the only disadvantage was that it was a single bed, so it was not comfortable. So after a while, I got tired. I'm like, you know what, I just have to find a double bed. It was just my health first. So I just went straight again, my go-to website whenever I'm looking for a place. I went and I checked on daft.ie, I checked on rent.ie. I was just throwing my application. I'm going to be telling you guys how to send a proper application when you're applying for an apartment. So I was just, you know, throwing in my applications here and there. I was going for some viewings. Literally, most times when I go for a viewing, I mostly take that place because I know how hard it is to find an accommodation here in Ireland. See, Ireland, we have housing problem. Like, everybody knows that. Whether you're in Cork or you're in Galway, or just that, it's not as bad as it is in Dublin. Like, Dublin is crazy when it comes to accommodation. But I'm getting to that point. So I applied. I went for the viewing. I carried my deposit, and that brings brings me to another point. Make sure that when you're going for a viewing, always take the deposit. Right, so the deposit is equals to the same amount of rent. So let's say they're showing that they're renting this place about 600 euros per month. Go with at least 600 euros per month, because most landlords, the only way to them in which you have secured the place is not by viewing. It's not by saying, oh, I like this place, I want to get it. It's by giving them the money. Then they know that you're serious. Sometimes some landlords will take just maybe half of the deposit, but everywhere I've gone to, they always take the full deposit. But it's just like, you know, it's security, and just like somebody saving money. Just look at it as someone saving money somewhere for you. You can always get it back, right? So I went for that viewing, and I saw the place was 480 per month for a double bed, and it was not an ensuite. I was still going to be sharing bathroom with one person actually, and it was a double bed, so it beats every other thing. Like, I was struggling with a single bed. My back was really aching me, and it wasn't that great. So finding a double bed was very exciting for me. And after that place, the landlord just came one day, and then he's like, you know what, I want to sell the house, so I need you guys to carry your things and leave. He was going to give us a month. So during the month, I started searching again, and my go-to websites, rent.ie, daft.ie. I was always, you know, searching on those platforms, and I went for this particular viewing, which I think if you joined my channel at some point within the last 1 year or so, you would see the room that I was always showing. So that particular room, I was paying 420. So you see that from where I was coming from, paying 480 per month without bills and with a shared bathroom and toilet. In this particular house, I was paying 420 euros with my own bathroom, with my own toilet, a bigger space, a finer place. Everything was just sweet, and it was 420, although it was excluding bills. But I mean, you can see the downgrade. When I went there for the viewing, were a lot of people. Another tip I'm going to tell you guys is always make sure to go with your reference. Aside from your deposit, at least go with 1 or 2 references from either your previous landlord, if you're a student, from your school, you know, if you're working from your workplace, and that would work sometimes. So on this particular day, I went for this viewing, and then the landlady was there, and she was giving about 4 rooms out, and were a lot of people because the place was so fine. And then she was like, you know what, nobody should drop deposits, don't drop any reference. I will pick people and I will get back to you. So once you come to view the place, if you like the place, she's gonna ask you, oh, what's your name, where are you from, are you working, are you a student, that kind of thing. And then in her head, she picks people that she wants. So she was like, she was going to get back to all of us that came that night. So she didn't get back to me. So I'm like, you know what, maybe she didn't pick me. So I just went back home. I was still searching, and then the next day she called me, and then she's like, yeah, I have one last room and I want to give that to you. I was so excited. Like, I was over the moon. I was so excited. So that's how I got that apartment. And then, as you guys know, if you don't know, I got a job in Dublin, so I had to move. Now this is where it gets really crazy, because Dublin is a story on its own, my god. But long story cut short, I got a job in Dublin. I had to move, and when I came here at first, before I came here, I was already putting down applications, different houses, and I saying, oh, I'm coming on this particular date, I just got a job, can I come for viewing on this particular date? Most of the times, the accommodations that I would have gotten, I missed them because they wanted someone that could view that day or like the next day, and I wasn't available because I was all the way in Cork. Because I get a lot of questions from people saying, oh, I'm outside the country, I'm outside this particular city, and I can't go for viewing. The truth of the matter is, I say this all the time to a lot of people, if you're looking for an accommodation in Ireland, most of these landlords, from my own experience, always want to see the person that I'm giving the space to. It was so bad that even before I came here, my uncle, I told you guys I have an uncle here, my uncle actually traveled all the way to Cork to look for a place for me, but it didn't go through because they didn't give him, because he was not the person sitting in the room. They always want to see the person taking the place. It's one thing to go and view for another person, but it's another thing for them to see who is really going to be entering that particular space. So that's why it's really hard for most people to get accommodation from outside the country, except you use platforms like Amber. So Amber, for example, like I mentioned earlier, they don't need to see who you are. As long as you are booking and you're able to pay and you're sure that you're going to be there, like they will give you the place, right? So I came to Dublin and I had 2 viewings, so I was applying all of that. I packed my things. I had literally places to sleep, but I wanted my own place, right? So I came to Dublin and I had 2 viewings for that day, and one of them, I went to the first one. The first one was telling me 950 excluding bills. Coming from a county where I was paying 350, paying 420, 480, 600, 600 is a stretch. You are stretching it. You are overstretching it. What happened? Where exactly are you staying if you are paying 600? Okay. I said, okay, 950. Dublin, you guys are not joking. So a lot of things that people have been saying, it's actually true that this is how bad you guys are. The house was such a big house. I think that they had over 10 rooms. I kid you not. The section that I went to already had about 8 rooms, and there was another section. Oh no, that house was so big, and there were just a lot of people viewing. Like if you're viewing, you're just paying on the spot. Like you don't have to pay the exact 950 on the spot. If you can hold it with 200 euros deposit, 150, the man was literally taking anything. So it's just like, come see the place, carry your room and go. So the place was so crowded. I'm just like, let me not go and pay out of rush because of the bubble of the place. Like, what's happening here? But the place was actually nice. It was fine. I give that to them actually. For 950, excluding bills, long story cut short, I didn't get the place. So I went to the place that I'm currently in at the moment, and I checked the place. I and Grace, we actually went for the viewing together. I'm like, oh, okay, this could work. It needs a lot of work in the house, but yeah, for 800 for a studio, including bills in Dublin, it's a steal. Anytime I tell someone that this is what I'm paying, you know, my own room, my own bathroom, my own kitchen, everything, and it's 800 plus bills, people are just like, could you steal it? And we that were in Dublin looking for a place we haven't found, and you that came all the way from Cork, that day literally I got this place. Like as soon as I left the other place, I came to this side and I got the place. I'm just like, you know what, I'm not even going to stress myself looking for another place, at least for now. Let me just pay and get in here. So now moving on to, you know, the application that you need to use to apply for accommodation. Let me tell you, I have a lot of people saying, oh, I have applied and they haven't gotten back to me, they don't reply me, blah blah blah. This is kind of like one of the tricks that I do when I apply, and I always get called for an interview, or always get called to come and take the place or something. So first things first, you know that normal message where we all write, oh, hi, my name is Gloria, I'm a student, or I work, blah blah blah, I don't smoke, I'm neat, I'm organized, I don't have pets, or I'm good with pets. If the house says, oh, pets involved, or you now say, oh, I don't smoke, I don't party, I have few friends, and then one short paragraph, write all these things and you submit it, and you think that they're gonna call you. Girl, you're not the only one. Literally give them a whole paragraph, let them read your application, and then they're like, you know what, she sounds like an interesting person. You know, it's one thing to apply, it's another thing for them to at least call you for a viewing. Once they call you for a viewing, your chances are kind of high that, you know, I would probably get this place. I'm going to be reading out an application script that I kind of use all the time when I'm applying. So it's, hi, my name is Gloria, you know, my memory. However, you could call me Ria. I saw your ad about having an available room, and I'm very interested if you would have me. I currently work as a scheduler with a healthcare organization. I'm a master's graduate of UCC. I'm 23 years old, and I came to Ireland as an international student. A few of my hobbies are having a chat. I like to be outdoors. If they want someone that is good with pets and you are good with pets, can also include, I love animals and plants and people, but you know, as I come from a very warm climate, I'm not a fan of the Irish cold. However, I'm getting used to it. I like to swim only on my warmest days and look for new adventures for myself. For example, soap making or cooking, something I've never done before. My daily routine on the days I go to work is get up early, get dressed, go to work. On days I do not have work, I mostly will sleep in, plan my day, cook, meal prep, tidy up, do laundry, clean, visit family and friends. Then you now continue. Please let me know if your room is still available, and I'll be lucky to rent. I'll be able to provide work references, and if you let me know whatever else I need to provide, thank you. You can reach me on WhatsApp or by text anytime, and then you put in your number. Thank you. Hope to hear back. It's a very long paragraph. I don't think that a lot of people will read it, but you know, just them seeing that kind of long application kind of gingers them to say, oh, what is she on about, you know? So you can just, you know, pick from what I have said now, put things together, put in your own, take out what some things that are written, kind of like, you know, paraphrase everything that written, and just make it like an interesting application. Don't be very shabby and just say, oh, my name is Gloria and my number is this, and then I want to rent this place, blah blah blah, and then you be like that, okay? And then moving on from that, I'm going to be talking about the website in which you can find an accommodation, whether you're in Ireland or whether you're not in Ireland. The very first one is Accommodation. All of these websites, I'm going to be leaving them down in my my description box. So the first one is Amber Accommodation, the second one is rent.ie, daft.ie. You can also get accommodation in booking.com, your student accommodation, Facebook marketplace. Like on Facebook, people would actually find houses. If you just fine tune it to your city, you're able to check Facebook marketplace. There are rooms people are putting there online for rent, and people get accommodation from that platform. And also you could speak to your school as well. Student accommodation, most of the time is people will not want to stay in student accommodation, and I get it because it's highly priced, to be fair. But sometimes your school could work things around for you, or they could refer you to host families or something, or somewhere else to get an accommodation. But yeah, those are the websites that I would recommend, because I have used all of these websites before and I've been able to secure a place from them, aside Facebook Market anyways. But I hear that people do that and it works, so that's why I'm giving you guys that as an example as well. So that's pretty much it for this accommodation. I know that I was just here gisting with you guys, telling you about like my whole process and all of that, but I hope like you got a thing or two from this particular video. If you did enjoy this video or learn a thing or two, if you have any questions, please don't forget to leave it down. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And thank you so much guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. But for now, bye guys. Bye.